Simon Hill. Yeah, we'll give them a couple of minutes there. We got about 2. This is Chad. He went to the beach and threw me in. He really. Luke says he's come with you.
Come if you gotta come. Right, what's different?
I like it. Now that I know you enjoy it so much,
Good afternoon. I'd like to call the Madison County Planning and Zoning Commission in order. Introduce myself. My name is Canola Scott. I'm the chair of the Planning and Zoning. If you would, please stand with me for a word of prayer. We'll get started. Eternal God, our Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for life. Thank you for health. We thank you for strength. We thank you for safe travel to this facility. Our Father, we ask that you bless each and every one here tonight. Bless those that may be on their way. Not only these people, but bless this entire world. Our Father, we ask that you come and be with us tonight as we try to do the county's business. Our Father, we praise and give you all the glory. And our Father, we be so careful to give you all the glory, all the praise, and all the honor. In Jesus Christ's name we pray. Amen. Amen. Before we get started, I want to let the Planning and Zoning members introduce themselves and the district that they represent. We're missing Mr. Bruce Gandy tonight. He had some surgery, and he represents District 5. Sorry.
Stephanie Harvin, District 3.
Cynthia Fortson, I'm elected by the committee.
James Bradley, Vice Chair in District 1. Lee Mitchell, District 2.
William Smith, District 4.
Melissa Payne, Zoning Clerk. Tracy Patrick, Zoning Administrator.
And we have our county attorney with us, Mike Pruitt. Mike Pruitt. Okay. I'm required to read some statements to you tonight before we get started. As the first order of business this evening, I'm required to read a few statements regarding the zoning process. So if you have any questions after I finish, please raise your hand and I will try to answer them. Zoning directly affects private property rights. These include the rights of property owners to the enjoyment and the use of their property, and the right of adjacent property owners and the general public not to be unreasonably harmed by this land use. Tonight is the first of 2 public hearings that will be held. A second public hearing before the Madison County Board of Commissioners will be held at this location at 6 p.m., I believe on July 1st. Attendance by the applicants or their representative is not required at that public hearing, but your attendance is encouraged in case questions come up that I may not be able to answer. The order of business. As to the order of business tonight, first I will introduce the application, and then the zoning administrator will give her comments. Then the applicant or authorized agent will come forward, state their name and address, and sign in. Then state the reason for their request. You may provide any other information or documentation supporting the application. Next, the planning and zoning members will have the opportunity to ask the applicant questions to clarify their understanding of the issue relating to the application. Afterwards, I will open the floor for public comment in support of or in opposition to the request. We're required by law to allow at least 10 minutes on either side for public comment. Anyone who desires to speak will be given ample time to express their support or opposition to the request. However, we ask that you be brief as possible and not repetitive in your comments. The Madison County Planning and Zoning Commission is a recommending body only, consisting of concerned citizens who are appointed to a 4-year term by the county commissioners. We are a fact-finding body that visits the properties under consideration, review the information associated with the application, consider public comment raised during public hearings, and within the guidelines of the comprehensive plan and other land use ordinances, make recommendations regarding these applications. The final binding decision on each request will be made by the Madison County Board of Commissioners at its meeting here on Monday night, July 1st. Does any member of the planning and zoning need to recuse themselves on any of the business to come forth tonight?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I'll recuse myself in number 9.
Barbara recuses herself from number 9. Anyone else? If not, we will proceed with the business. Consider the zoning applications for the June public hearing. Hunter Downing, applicant for Prentice Enterprises, Inc. Ms. Tracy.
She is requesting to rezone 25.38 acres from A1 to R1 to develop a subdivision, excuse me, consisting of 14 1.5-acre lots. Property is located at 1216 Diamond Hill Culvert Road in Culvert on map 58, parcel 49 in District 5.
Downing?
Hi, my name is Hunter Downing. Again, the address is 1216 Diamond Hill Culvert Road in Culvert. I do have an aerial view that I'd like to pass out, just so y'all understand phase 1, how it connects with phase 2. Just enough. And as you can see by our plat up here, it'll go between 5 and 6 on those 2 lots.
Anything else?
That's pretty self-explanatory right there.
Okay. Does any members of the board have any particular questions on this particular rezone request?
We discussed at our business meeting, water. I understand that this is going to be Piedmont water.
We've contacted Piedmont engineers and we're waiting to get a response to get them to basically give us a letter saying yes, they will provide water here. We do have a community water system in place with water lines in place in phase 1 right now.
But on phase 2, if you do connect to Piedmont water, will those be 6-inch lines with fire protection hydrants?
Yes, sir.
In there? Okay. If that is what is arranged, I think I mentioned this in the first meeting, those people in phase 1, due to the circumstances, being on a well, and ended up pulling the hydrant that was there out. Is there the possibility of extending that line, that 6-inch line that's running to the rear of the the property there, stretching it over into phase one
Phase
to
one,
give
yes,
them some
sir.
fire protection?
Yes, sir.
Show me one of them.
Okay, and I'm sorry, I only got one copy of these, but I can show it to y'all. These are our water line plans that you'll see a hydrant is planning to go here, and this is phase two, where we're planning to put a fire hydrant right there as well.
This is phase one.
This is phase one, what is existing, right where the yellow dot is.
Okay.
If you can just give that to that gentleman, and we'll just pass it around.
There you go, sir.
Let
Y'all
me
wanna
look at
take
it,
a look?
and we'll pass it on to the other, P&Z members. Any further questions, Lee? Anybody else have any, questions for Ms. Downing?
Did you say something about the easement?
Around.
I know the commissioners will be the final decision maker on this. The reason I bring up water, and I see that your proposal here is basically just to come over, just over into phase one and put a hydrant. Stretching supply lines from a hydrant to a fire engine, generally in subdivisions, not more than 500 feet. What I had hoped was that you were going to be able to put a hydrant back in the, about halfway down that road.
In phase one?
The road in phase one,
Okay.
basically
Where it was.
before.
Gotcha.
But I don't think that map indicates that's where you're planning to put that. I like to get within 500 feet of the residences for purposes of stretching supply lines off.
Understood, yes, sir, I gotcha.
That's just my personal.
Okay. Any further questions from?
I know, I just have a note, something about, dedicated easement as a county road. The property is being added to get rid of easement. Is that something
Not that I'm aware of. Okay, anything else?
If you want me to clear that up, I will.
Okay.
On the current plat,
Yeah.
we have an easement there to get to this property. When this is approved and that's done, that easement will disappear, and it will be a permanent road just being built where that easement is. So the easement's going away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're gonna get rid of the easement, it's gonna be deeded access, so I can deed the road back over to the county.
Oh,
Right now, it just shows as an easement, but we own that easement.
okay. So it will be, put over to the county.
Yes.
All right.
All right, any further questions? Not, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right, we will open the public hearing and ask anyone to come forward that would like to speak in favor of this rezone request. Is there anyone here that would like to speak in favor of this particular rezone request? Hearing none, is there anyone who wants to speak in opposition to this particular rezone request? Please come forward, state your name and your opposition to this particular rezone request.
Yes, sir. Good evening. My name is David Hasinski. I live at 1860 Brush Creek Road in Colbert. I was struck by something that the chairman said at the beginning of this, to prevent undue harm. For those of us who live in Brush Creek, this will do undue harm. We are not opposed to development. We are not even opposed to this development. What we are opposed to is a significantly different zoning on our borders. This section 1 and section 2 are 1.5 acres, basically 2 acres on the first part, with what will be $300,000 or $400,000 homes, literally contiguous to 5-acre lots with anywhere from $700 to $1 million homes. Any realtor will tell you that comps are what determine property value. When the house next to you, behind you, is worth half of what yours is, your property value is going to drop. And that's what will happen to the whole neighborhood. I would suggest that all of this needs to be changed to reduce the number of houses in here. It was originally in section 1. When the county commission finally voted, they voted on 5 lots. Now it's 8 somehow. Not quite sure how that happened.
Are you talking about the existing?
Yes,
Are you talking about
section,
this rezone request, or are you talking about Nancy's place?
well, they're connected, correct? One's phase 1 and phase 2?
Tonight, we are discussing this particular rezone request. Nancy's place has nothing to do with our decision making.
So the discussion on the road and dedicated right-of-way in section 1 had nothing to do with this?
Mr. Chairman, I think that's okay. He can say what he wants to do.
Okay. Go right ahead.
I don't get it.
Okay.
Because they are connected, that's the point, phase 1 and 2. But the point is, it's contiguous to all of these properties that have almost double the value, which means it'll reduce the value. There's another one I'm not sure of. It looks like the 1.5 acres does not include easements. It is border to border. I don't know if that's accurate or not. Would Counselor know that?
No, sir.
If it includes if it's border to border, then it's in violation of the county codes. The last time I appeared here to discuss this, you couldn't find the code, so I brought it with me. This is from the subdivision regulations approved on June 5th, 2023, section 4.7.2. The following land areas are not considered as part of a lot when calculating the required minimum lot size for the subdivision of 1.5 acres. Rights-of-way easements, such as power lines, pipelines, or other utilities, bodies of water. If that is the case, and it's border to border, that means that 9 of the 14 lots are not in compliance with county code. I suggest we take a look at that and reduce the number of houses within here, at least to make it comply to the county code, and preferably to get them small enough so a big enough house can be built, or something close to what the bordering properties will be. Brush Creek, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else wants to speak in opposition? Please come forward, state your name, and tell us what you want us to know, sir.
My name is Clayton Mann. I live in 385 Kincaid Cemetery Road, Brush Creek. So I believe, because I don't really have the information, that my property would be adjoining this phase 2. And it's just like you said tonight, we're not talking about phase 1. That seems to be a done deal.
Correct.
So we're talking about phase 2, but we don't have any information about phase 2. Is phase 2 a duplicate of phase 1, or are we gonna talk about how big of lots and stuff like that goes on with that? I guess the reason I'm saying that because we've got Madison Preserve that's on the other side of the Brush Creek subdivision.
Right.
And those are nice lots and nice houses. Of course, they've been sitting there and they hadn't sold, but looks like it's gonna be about 50 houses in that area or more in the future, so that puts a whole lot more traffic through that neighborhood that was never designed to handle that much traffic. And I've also heard, and it may just be a rumor, that there was gonna be an entrance put on Kincaid Cemetery Road.
There it is.
There it is right there. Okay, and that puts a lot more traffic right there on that area, and plus it's on a hill, it's sort of a blind spot. And so I would like to at least be considered about that instead of, like I said, as far as the number of houses. And then you also, because you got all this extra traffic that's gonna be on the Culvert Diamond Hill Road, is to maybe moving the speed limit down to 35, at least on the other side of Nancy's place, because all that area up through there, when you're trying to get out, people are already running 60 miles an hour. So at least consider that.
Yes, sir. Anyone else? Please come forward, state your name.
Sure. I'm Cindy Mann. I just had a question about the water. So I'm curious, so Brush Creek has the community well that Piedmont maintains. Is that the community water, you know?
This is the time for the public to make statements.
Yes, okay.
So if you want to express that
So
concern,
I have the
he may-
concern, I have
the
the
applicant
concern.
may or may not choose to address that
Okay.
during his rebuttal.
I just have the same concern regarding just the water supply for our Brush Creek neighborhood. Just saying, because that well was originally set there to provide the water for Brush Creek. So,
And I would think, ma'am, that, they have to get approval, if they're gonna use that same well, that it is sufficient to take care of both places. But, is there anyone else? There's opposition. Please come forward.
Hi, Mike Foss. I live on Old Kincaid Road, about half a mile down from where that's gonna be. And, I just want to echo what they've said in just in terms of the probable reduction of economic value of the existing homes around there. I moved there about 2 years ago, mostly because I like the 5-acre lots, nice and quiet, not too much traffic on the roads. This will materially change some of that, this and the preserve and the other things that are currently being built. And I also worry about, I'm concerned about how it taxes the infrastructure around us, both the water. I'm not sure if there's taxes on the electrical grid. I don't know how the roads will be taxed, both during the construction phases of all these little things going on, and once we have many more homes in the neighborhood. So that's what I want to say.
All right, sir. Anyone else? Yes.
Kayla Booker, and I live on Kincaid Cemetery Road. My main concern is I have 2 kids, and we're constantly on that road, riding bikes, walking. I mean, it's a subdivision. That's what it was built for. We never have to worry about traffic until, obviously, the Madison Preserve was done, and now this. And then us having a entrance on our subdivision road, that's going to cause a lot more traffic. So for me, that's a safety concern for our kids. And then also, obviously, the obvious of our property values are going to go down with this. So just wanted to put that safety concern out there. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Anyone else? If not, we'll close the public hearing and ask the applicant if he has any rebuttal.
That's actually part of the public hearing.
Okay. Have any rebuttal?
Talking about the water, we contacted Piedmont Water. We don't ask them where the water comes from. I know for a fact, because I did Cadence Springs, that the water comes from Colbert, flows to Old Kincaid Road, and goes to Old Kincaid Road. They may have, and I don't know the answer to that question, there may be a well in Brush Creek. That's a secondary well that pumps water into it too. Like we all know, Colbert has multiple wells that pump into the system. So if they stated to us that they've got the water, they're, we don't ask them where it comes from. They just tell us that they connect it, just like any other, when you call them and ask them, can you have a water meter? They said, we got water. We don't ask them where it comes from. As far as property values, as we all know, way you figure up a property value when you do an appraisal is price per square foot. Right now, the last house that we just sold in Madison County, just a few miles up the road, sold for $275 a foot. If you multiply that at 2,400 square feet is what these houses minimum are going to be. And these homes have the same covenants in them as Spratland Mill subdivision in Hall, which is the #1 subdivision in Madison County. It outdoes Brush Creek. It's got more stringent subdivision regulations. The only thing is Spratland Mill is 2,600. This subdivision is 2,400. So you multiply that out, it's actually going to increase property values, and we've done that research too. look at that, and you can look at all the economic research. It'll increase property values, it will not decrease.
Thanks, sir. All right, now we'll close the public hearing and bring it back to the board for any discussion. And I will entertain a motion to approve, disapprove, approve with conditions.
One more question on stormwater runoff. I noticed that there's not a detention pond on the plat. Is there a pond that's built into one of the lots in any way, or there is a pond?
Right now, we are in the zoning phase. My engineer is working on the engineering plans for the subdivision review. So I don't have the complete water lines, I don't have the complete roads. All we've got is a preliminary plat, just to show what we are looking at doing. Once it gets approved, my engineer will complete that work when we come back for subdivision review. And if he is required by the state of Georgia, of course, because that's how he figures the retention ponds and all, there'll be a retention pond in here, which honestly means we're gonna lose a lot, which means that property be divided. And he's gotta go by all the state and county regulations. So I would say it's very possible that we have to have another retention pond on this property.
All right. Any other questions or comments? Questions or comments? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion again to approve, disapprove, or to approve with conditions. Come on, order. I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Canola Scott.
Chairman, can I
Right.
ask, a condition?
So a motion to approve and a second. Okay, now, you have a comment?
Yeah, I was, wondering if you might possibly put a condition that the road be connected to phase one. But we need a condition showing that it will be connected,
Right, yeah, I mean, that would be an appropriate condition if you want to, if,
because they don't have to.
right, the site plan is not a condition, so if you want to make sure that, I mean, I'm sure the developer wants that to happen, but for you to make sure it happens, I doubt they have any objection to that condition either. So, two ways to do that. You could either agree to amend your motion, or Ms. Morrison could make a substitute motion.
Ms. Forson, would you like to make a substitute motion?
I can.
All right, if you would, please.
Because would they have those two ways out if they did not connect?
I'm not sure if that will be done.
They're going to connect.
Yeah, you need the connection to have,
The two ways to connect.
Yeah,
that's
so
right,
it
yeah.
needs to be
Okay.
there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what do? I read?
Just, yeah, I can state it for you if you'd like. You can that substitute motion to approve with the condition, that the roads be connected between phase one and phase two.
We have a motion, do I hear a second? We have a motion and a second, that this application be approved with the condition that the roads be connected from phase one, phase two. Okay. Any further comments?
I don't mean to make it complicated. Is it appropriate to make it a condition to make sure that there's a hydrant put in phase one and stretches from phase two?
Yes, that's appropriate.
I don't have to do that.
Well, then you have to make another substitute motion.
Or Ms. Morrison could agree to that and have a friendly amendment to her motion, and then the board could accept it.
I agree to bring Lee in on my motion.
Any objection from any of the board to amending that motion that way? That doesn't mean you're voting on the motion, just means it's amended. Okay, so that's, so that's the amended motion that will be voted on first.
The amended motion, if I can state this correctly, that this application be approved with two conditions. One, that the roads be connected in phase one, phase two, and there be a water hydrant within 500 feet of the residence or the houses. All right, any further comment? If not, Stephanie?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Downing, this has been approved.
Thank you.
Again, there will be a public hearing. The Board of Commissioners will have the final say on July the 1st. I do suggest that you be there. I do suggest that all of you that have opposed this to be there and present your objections to the Board of Commissioners who have the final say. All right. With that, moving on to number 2. Hunter Downing, applicant for Capital Resource Management LLC.
Okay. He's requesting to rezone an approximate 25-acre portion of the property from A2 to R1 to develop a subdivision consisting of 15 1.5-acre lots, and the remaining acreage will stay in the A2 zoning district. Property is located at 0 Spratland Mill Road in Hull on map 32, parcel 62 in District 3.
All right.
Hi again. I have another aerial view just to show how this connects with the rest of the subdivision. And the pink is what we just finished. That would be phase 5, and this will be phase 6. The pink phase 5 and the blue phase 6. Oh, did I miss somebody? Okay. Here's the bigger shot.
All right.
And this is just phase 6 going along with the rest of Spratland Mill subdivision. There'll be 1.5-acre lot. Pretty much it. Unless y'all have any questions.
Is there gonna be a phase 7?
Yes, sir, there'll be one more phase or 2 more. That'll be the rest of it. If you look at what I gave you, sorry, let me come up here just to show you. So you see, this is going to continue there, and this will be 6, and this will be 7. And this right here, this is what we just finished, right here, and this will be the next phase. So it'll stop right there, and this will be 7 over here. Okay?
No, this is,
Now, I guess,
6 and 7.
This is what we just finished, this is 6, this will be 7.
is there only one way in, one way out?
There will be 2 entrances. One will come off of Spratland Mill Road, the existing, and this is coming off Spratland Mill.
Correct.
Yes. So there will be 2 entrances. 3 entrances, because there's one off Spratland Way too, I apologize. So it'll actually have 3 entrances into the site.
So this consisted, he was asking about the fire hydrants. Would that be, would that have the same water?
Tell her where the water lines are going. I'm trying to train her.
I know.
She can be doing this.
Will it be the same water line?
The water line is gonna go from the existing phase of 5
Yeah.
all the way through
To the
and connect to Spratland Mill.
Yeah.
And then we will have to go by Madison County subdivision rules, just like any time, as far as fire hydrants and everything else goes. Because that will be connected to the county water. So everything will be, and the roads will be deeded to the county, so it'll have to be, just like phase 5, phase 4, phase 3, everything.
So all easements will be deeded over.
And the reason we're, just so you'll say it in the next meeting, is reason we're doing this phase next is because Madison County Water Authority is wanting us to tie into Spratling Mill, on Spratling Mill Road, just to loop the system. So that's why we're not going to the other way, we're coming here and then go back and do that. And I know it kind of looks a little different, but that's how they wanted us to do it.
Okay, anything else?
Unless you have
Any
any
further
questions.
questions from the board from her? All right, thank you. All right, at this point, we will open the public hearing. Is there anyone here that wants to speak in favor of this particular rezone request? Anyone here wants to speak in favor of this rezone request? Hearing none, is there anyone here who wants to speak in opposition to this rezone request? Anyone want to speak in opposition? Hearing none, we'll close the public hearing and bring it back to the board, and I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve.
Have a motion by Stephanie to approve, second by Cynthia. Any questions or discussion? Not, we'll send the vote. Cynthia?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, Ms. Downing, this is approved again, July 1st. Come before the Board of Commissioners, they have a final say.
Thank you all.
Thank you. All right, number 3. And let me apologize first if I mispronounced it. Kaczynski?
Like, I don't see him here today.
Kaczynski. All right, go ahead and go through it.
He is requesting to rezone 2 acres from AR to business to be combined with his adjoining business zone property. Map 30, parcel 77-01, to allow the construction and operation of a small-scale metal gate fabrication business. Property is located at 0 Willis Glen Road in Hull on map 30, parcel 77-02 in District 3.
I believe, if I'm correct, as we stand right now, in the process of looking at all these zoning regulations, think that a no-show is a automatic withdrawal.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
So this is an automatic withdrawal. All right, let's move on to number 4.
Okay, so give me one moment to pull up this slide. All right, Barrett Poole, applicant for his father, Kevin Eugene Poole, is requesting to rezone his 8 acres from A2 to AR to allow a second home to be placed on the property as an accessory dwelling unit for his son. The property is located at a 11552 Wildcat Bridge Road in Danielsville on map 65, parcel 33 in District 4.
Okay, Mr. Poole?
Hi, I'm Barrett Poole. I'm the son that's mentioned here for the accessory dwelling unit, and I live at this property, 11552 Wildcat Bridge. And what we wanted to do was we wanted to put a single-wide trailer on the back of the property as shown in the site plan, so that my expecting wife and I can raise our little daughter together. So this would allow us to still be close by my family, as my grandmother and grandfather both also live on this property.
All right, any questions from Mr. Poole? From the board? I guess not. All right. Okay, so
It's gonna be a shared driveway to the backside of the property, can you agree?
Right now, there used to be a driveway. It was just kind of a packed dirt driveway that goes from the current driveway is asphalt, and so the shared part would we would kind of either lay an extra layer of gravel down the fence that we have, right where it's kind of marked there. There's a fence line there, so the driveway would go right alongside that.
Any further questions? Okay, if not, we'll open the public hearing. Is there anyone who wants to speak in favor of this particular rezone request? Anyone want to speak in opposition? Hearing none, close the public hearing and bring it back to the board, and we'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Any questions, any comments from the board members? Yeah, if not, Kenneth, I believe it's on you.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Poole, this is approved, this has been approved. We will recommend the Board of Commissioners for approval, but again, on July 1st, you need to come before them and they will have a final say.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Matthew and Tanya Porterfield.
Okay, they are requesting to rezone their 6.65 acres from A2 to AR to allow a second home to be placed on the property as an accessory dwelling unit for their son. The property is located at 4878 Highway 191 in Comer on map 66, parcel 63-03 in District 2.
All right, Mr. Porterfield.
Yes, Matt Porterfield,
Okay.
4878 Highway 191. Just looking to, you got the plot up there, I guess, but, just to put my son to put a trailer on it, we're gonna use existing driveway, and he's gonna branch off of that.
No one have any questions for Mr. Porterfield?
I do. You said the shared driveway. Now I'm looking, that comes from that 191 highway?
Correct.
Okay, and there's a property next to you. Do they share that same?
They have agreed, they have a new driveway that they're using, you'll see it in the middle right there, the strong end. They're using that for their driveway.
In the middle?
Can you show us on that,
Yeah.
I'm looking here.
They have a new driveway here, he purchased all this now, so he doesn't require this easement. So it's just me, and then my son's we're looking to put a trailer right here.
Oh, okay.
So it'll be an extension off of that easement.
So you still have a shared driveway from, or is he going all the way out to the highway?
He goes all the way out
Oh,
that way.
okay, I'm sorry, it
Yeah.
looks like it stops right.
Because he owns both properties now, he owns all three of those actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. That was my question.
Any further questions? Thanks, sir. All right, we will open the public hearing. Is there anyone speaking in favor of this rezone request? Anyone want to speak in favor? Hearing none, anyone want to speak in opposition to this rezone request? Hearing none, we'll bring it back to the board and I will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second. Been moved and, second, that we approve this particular rezone request. I believe it's on me. Yes? Yes.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Okay. Porterfield, same as I told the rest of them, we will recommend approval, and, July 1st, this will come before the Board of Commissioners, for their final say. All right, David and Tracy Dove.
They are requesting to rezone a 1.5 acre portion of their land from A2 to R1 to allow it to be split off with an existing home. Property is located at 3984 Wildcat Ridge Road in Royston on map 89, parcel 3 in District 4.
All right, Ms. Dove?
Yes, we want to cut off the house, what we have inside the red circle. It has its own driveway, and there's a house there. We want to cut it off to give to our daughter. because right now it's all 116.8 acres with 2 houses. Because it's this right here, this is, we just bought this last year, it has a house. We own the 5.5 acres here. We have a house here, but now all of this is one. So we have a house here that has its own driveway, and this house uses this driveway. And we want to take this and cut it off and leave all of this connected to the main house.
So are you saying there's already 2 houses on one parcel?
Because we connected it here last year. We rezoned all of it together last year.
We combined it.
Mm-hmm, yes, sir. Because that, y'all, we were told that was the best way to do it one step and then come back and do it as this step, instead of trying to combine it and cut something out all at the same time. Because, I mean, we knew we wanted to cut the house out, you know, that was our beginning option anyway. So, but they told us to do it this way, it would be more feasible, it's more understandable and everything. But there are 2 driveways, one for each house.
So there's not an, well, not according to people, was there an addition to the garage that has room?
No.
Okay.
No, the house on, the original main house here was built in 2004. Well, no, we did an addition to our house, gosh, someone wanted 2011, I think, and that was it. Nothing else has been done here. This, we put in, I think, a front door whenever we bought it. It's simple
So it
maintenance.
seemed like there was an add-on that needed another addition. No, that's okay.
No, ma'am. We didn't build anything until, like I said, we replaced a door or 2 or a window, but that was it. No, ma'am.
Any other questions from Ms. Dove?
Is your reasoning for wanting 1.5 acres, you're wanting this parcel to be as small as possible?
Yes, because it's for my daughter. She'll be 18, and if something happened, I wouldn't want her to lose everything, but I also have a son also. So, you know, that way at least there's 2 pieces of property, but my husband and I and my son will stay in the main property with the majority of the land. And that way she can start out, have her little starter house, and it's hers.
But the main reason is the pecan trees around it, there's 105 pecan trees in there. And if we give up more of that, then we have to cut more, take away from the pecan trees.
Yes.
That's why we put them in conservation, put them on our land.
Because we did all of that. We combined everything and done that, and the pecan trees start right behind that house. That's our other reason for asking for just the 1.5.
Right. It's not where we can, just where we don't have to cut up so much of the pecan tree to get over into the pond.
Yes, because the surveyor said that if we have to do 2 or back, you know, said if we had to do 4, he said you'll ruin the orchard. He said you'll lose over half your pecan.
And they've been there since my daddy stayed the age, he said he was a little more than that's the reason we followed that.
It's the old Drake farm.
All right, any further questions?
But my thinking was, in case something happens, she didn't have a whole lot to lose.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right, we'll open public hearing. So anyone wants to speak in favor of this rezone request? Hearing none, anyone want to speak in opposition? Hearing none, I'll bring it back to the board. Close the public hearing, bring it back to the board, and I will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve. I get a second. I have a second. Any questions or comments?
I just want to comment, these are things I'm all for, private property rights. And I went through the comprehensive plan, and I so look forward to the rewrite where we are going to zone things, and it's nothing punitive towards anybody. It's just if we continue to put R1s in areas where they are not currently supposed to be, and it's not my rules, it's what it is, we have no leg to stand on when something we truly don't want comes in. We have no ability for our attorney to be able to say, we can't do this because we've pierced that corporate veil or whatever the legal jargon is. So when we put R1s in areas that are not, it destroys our ability to do things possibly that we really don't want. And so I don't want anybody here to misrepresent my intentions. I'm just trying to I'm volunteering my time basically trying to hold up to what the citizens who showed up during that process, what it is that they said that they wanted for Madison County as a whole. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I agree. We've had these and pointed out time and time again about the inappropriateness of having residential zoning in an agricultural or a conservation character area. And, I agree with you.
Okay, any other comments? All right, Lee, it's on you.
No.
No.
Yes.
It's on you.
Okay. I do see some smaller lots, and one is R1, and a couple of them are
Yes or no?
agricultural. So
Yes or no?
I say
Yes.
Yes. Okay, we have a 4-2 for yes. Again, this will be presented to the Board of Commissioners, who will recommend approval because of the vote tonight. July the 1st, please be present to present your case to the Board of Commissioners who have the final say.
Thank y'all.
All right, Chad Griffin, number 7.
Okay. Applicant for his parents, Andrew and Angela Griffith, is requesting to rezone a 2-acre portion of their 114.05 acres from A2 to business to allow it to be split and allow the construction and operation of a small-scale installation business. The remaining acreage will stay in the A2 zone. The property is located at 0 Rogers Mill Road in Danielsville on map 40, parcel 24 in District 1.
All right, Mr. Griffin.
My name's Andrew Griffin, my son is Chad. This is actually my property we're talking about, but we just want to get a place where we can put our shop. It's actually on my residence where I live at. I use my house as an office, but we want to get a shop where we can actually be, you know, just a small business instead of working out of the house. Or, like I said, I got a shop on my property, but that's where I live at, but I want to get it out of there. I've been in business for 14 years, and I want my shop back.
How far is this from your existing shop now?
Actually, that tract right there is 114 acres. My 10-acre tract through the woods ain't 300 yards. Don Healy's the only one that owns land between me and him.
So what you're planning to do is move your existing business, if this is approved, to this particular location?
Yeah. To get it off my personal house, you know, just, we'll have an office. My 2 boys are coming into the company. They're gonna start being part of the company. And it's a neutral place where anybody can go and do their work instead of having to come into my house and do secretary work or quote or anything like that.
But you're currently operating this business out of your shop on your 10-acre parcel.
Yes, sir.
Is that currently zoned business or is it zoned?
Well, see, I don't do no work on my property. I don't do no work on my property. That's just, I got a shop, and we do store a little bit of materials in my shop, but my office is in my house. And it's just, it's residence. I mean, it's off Coley Davis Road where I live at.
So you own this 114 acres?
Yes.
There's nothing else on this 114 acres?
No, ma'am.
Is there a reason why you want it to be zone business?
Well, because it's a bit, I mean, what else would you zone it? I'm asking that.
I mean, you're A2, you could just build a shop.
No, I was told we couldn't build a shop on that property unless it was a residence. That's what we're going to do.
So there is a residence on. No, you
No,
can't
there ain't.
build it, without a residence.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And to me, building a shop for personal reasons versus running a business out of there too.
Yeah.
Well, in our last result question, that was gone, but we're talking about the comp plan. As far as the comp plan is concerned, looking at the comp plan, I don't see any kind of business or any in that particular area. There are no B zones. Not to say that you can't develop one, but, you know, if you're gonna go, if you're gonna look at the comprehensive plan or the way it's drawn up, this would be totally out of character. That has to be part of our consideration. Any further questions for Mr. Griffin? Not? Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
All right, we'll open the public hearing. And is there anyone who wants to speak for this particular rezone request? Anyone wants to speak for this particular rezone request? Hearing none, is there anyone who wants to speak in opposition? Please come forward, state your name and what you want us to know.
Amy Abrahamson, I live at 178 Old Rogers Hill Road, which is a small road across the street from this area that you're talking about rezoning. I participated in almost every one of the meetings for the comprehensive plan last year. I'm very committed to seeing we don't put business in agricultural and residential areas. I'm concerned about the traffic, I'm concerned about the noise, I'm concerned about opening the door to other businesses along that road. It's just not in character with the whole area. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Anyone else wants to speak in opposition to? Yes, sir. Please come forward and state your name.
Steve Warner, I live at 181 Coley Davis Road. This is not a business area, it's agriculture and it's residential. There's no other businesses or rated business on that area. It's not an industrial area. I suggest we look for somewhere else to put in this business. Rogers Mill Road wouldn't handle traffic as far as trucking and things along that line. It's just not acceptable to do in there in a business.
Thanks, sir.
Can I say something on that?
You get a chance.
You'll get a chance in just a moment. Is there anyone else who wants to speak in opposition to? Please come forward.
Good evening, my name is Beth Warner and I live on Coley Davis Road as well. And I'm a big proponent of small business. Absolutely, Madison County needs more small business, small family business is wonderful. However, I'm going to go back to what you said a few minutes ago. I think we set a precedent by introducing a new zoning regulation in an area that is already agriculture and doesn't have small businesses there. So I'm not opposed to business, I'm opposed to tweaking the rules. I'm just concerned of what doors that open up. How do we protect our rural nature if we start opening those doors? And that's my concern.
Thank you. Anyone else?
May I make one further comment, sir?
Yes, ma'am. This will be the last one.
Okay, thank you. I also consulted with a number of my neighbors and everyone feels the same way I do. So we're all important to be here tonight. Thank you.
All right. Anyone else in opposition? Not, the applicant, you can come forward and, have any rebuttal you may have.
I'd just like to address the traffic on that. I mean, I got 3 guys, me and 2 guys at work, and I got 1 secretary. I mean, how much traffic is that gonna be? And we always off, we ain't at the shops up in the morning. And we in Athens or Gainesville or wherever we're working at. I mean, the traffic ain't no more than what's gonna be there now.
All right, sir? All right, at this point, we'll close the public hearing and bring it back to the board for any discussion or comments that you might want to make. And I will entertain a motion to approve, disapprove, approve with conditions.
I think this is spot zoning at its finest, and, I mean, to put a business zone in this area is completely against our comprehensive plan. I would make a motion to deny.
We have a motion to deny. I got a second.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to deny. Any comments, questions?
I would think that we need to look further with CPL on this about having, changing something where, you know, if this is A2 and these people somebody wanted to put a pole barn up on this property, we're saying no unless there's a house there?
I can't verify that. If it's for agricultural purposes, you can put an accessory structure out there without there being a home. But this is not for ag purposes.
Well, we wouldn't know if it,
Right.
we wouldn't know the purpose of it.
Oh, hopefully we would. Zoning's all about use, remember?
Yeah, but if it was A2 and he just wanted to build a building, he could do it without.
He could build a building, but once he starts running a business out of it, he's gonna start getting zoning violations.
But how would you know, I mean, I'm asking this, how would you know I was running the business?
Do you run 100 miles an hour if you don't see a cop?
Okay. We have a motion and a second, and we're in the discussion phase at this point. I kind of want to comment on Stephanie's point, and this actually has nothing to do with the motion at this point, but I don't understand that particular rule. That's something I think that we need to talk about. You know, you own 200 acres and you can't build nothing on it?
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, no, we're misunderstanding this. We're talking about a home occupation, an accessory building for a home, if this were a home occupation that's allowed, I don't even know. It's zoned for A1. There's various things you can do on A1, mainly agriculture, and you can build anything you want for agriculture. If you want to build something for business, the only way you could do that is if it's an allowed home occupation in A1 as an accessory with an accessory dwelling or accessory building to an existing residence. And that preserves the rural agricultural nature.
Thank you for that clarification. All right. Now, we have a motion and a second. Any other further discussion? All right, Mr. Smith, I believe it's on you.
Yes,
To deny.
correct.
No.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, yes, I thought I was.
You made it.
I'm sorry, I made the motion.
We have a, vote to deny. 5-1, and Mr. Griffin, this will come before the Board of Commissioners on July 1st. And we'll have another public hearing. Please be present to state your case to the Board of Commissioners. They have the final say. For those of you that opposed it, please come to that meeting and state your case. And the final decision will be made on July 1. Okay? Moving on to number 8, Chips Lovey. Applicant for Stacy Buchan. Okay.
I'm Helen, actually, my husband is under back there too.
All right. Okay, I'm sorry.
All right, Jill Levin is not there. All right, is requesting to rezone her 23.707 acres from A1 to AR to allow the property to be split into 3 tracts, excuse me, containing 7.279 acres.
Excuse me, could you all please, thank you.
and two 8.214-acre tracts to purchase for him and his two children to reside on. Property is located at 0 East Commerce Road in Commerce on map 12, parcel 170 in District 1.
All right. Again, tell us what you want us to.
Well, we live in Gwinnett County now, and it's really getting busy, and I've lived in my house for 30 years, and so we've got a little, we built it for a little or nothing, and it's worth a little bit, so we want to, instead of just waiting until we die, willing it, we want to get some property and give both a piece to both of our sons, and leave. We were going to do the 7-acre and let them have the other side, build their houses on, instead of waiting until we die and split it off. So we can all just kind of be there. And Helen, I'm Helen. Helen Love.
Yeah,
I'm
okay,
sorry.
all right, thank you.
Helen Love.
Do you need my address? They're around there now.
Yeah.
You probably have already talked to him enough, but that's really why we just want to do it before I die, and then, so we can all be together there.
All right, any questions from Ms. Levin?
So the, mini cemetery road, it ain't split y'all's property.
Yeah, it's right here, and me and my husband, we were gonna take the smaller tract and then give them back, cause so if we died, then they could rent it out or whatever, or somebody else could over there, everything like. But we were just gonna take the seven side and let them have the other side.
Further questions?
I think I asked this in our other meeting, that is a county road.
Yeah.
So for access purposes, all three of those parcels can access directly off of the road.
Can one of them be off of the other road if we need it to be?
Mini cemetery?
No,
We were thinking two of them be out there, and then my son, he's gonna take this, he was thinking maybe he might try to do one there.
Yes.
But there'd only be one on the main highway.
Okay. Any further questions? Thank you, ma'am. All right, we'll open a public hearing. Is there anyone here who wants to speak in favor of this rezone request? Come forward, sir.
No, that's my wife, so she spoke for me.
All right, we understand. All right, anyone wants to speak in opposition to this particular rezone request? Hearing none, we'll close the public hearing and bring it back to the board for any further discussion or entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
A motion to approve
Second.
and a second. Any further comments? Not, Stephanie, I'll bring it back to you.
Yes.
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 All right, Ms. Loving, this has been approved. Again, I'll tell you like I tell all the rest of them, July 1st, right here, 6 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
Please be present.
Thank you.
All right, Gary Harvin, applicant for Karen Myers.
He is requesting to rezone her 26.838 acres from A1 to A2 to allow a 10-acre split. Property is located at 4831 Highway 174 in Danielsville on map 49, parcel 95 in District 4.
All right, Mr. Harvin, tell us what you want us to know.
Ms. Myers is selling a 10-acre piece to the neighboring property, which is gentleman Chris Graham, who's got a 45-acre piece. And they're not joining the parcels, but he's purchasing the 10-acre parcel. He's on day one, she's on day two, so we're doing this first. But to be in conformance, to be able to sell that parcel, she has to be rezoned to A2 on the parent parcel.
All right. Questions for Mr. Harvin? Not? All right, sir. Thank you. All right, today we'll open the public hearing. Is anyone who will speak in favor of this rezone request? Anyone want to speak in favor? Hearing none. Anyone want to speak in opposition? Anyone in opposition? Hearing none, we'll close the public hearing. And we'll entertain a motion to approve or disapprove.
Chairman, I make a motion that we approve as presented.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. It will be approved as presented. Any further questions or comments? If not, Stephanie, I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
and she has recused herself. All right, number 10, Cassie Grimes, applicant for her parents, Lance and Julie Wade.
Yes. They are requesting to rezone 1.5 acres of their 5.86 acre property from A2 to R1 to split with an existing home and to rezone the remaining 4.36 acres from A2 to AR to allow a home site for their daughter.
My name's Lance Wade. I live at 4285 Tilly Road, and we was just trying to give my daughter a spot to build her a house. With the way the prices are right now on land, it's just, she can't afford to build and buy land, so, thank you. And my neighbors have agreed to give her her own access for her own driveway on the back side of the property. It actually be right down to this line right here. The neighbor has agreed to give her this part, and the other neighbor has agreed to give her access to come right through this corner with the driveway down our property line. My driveway is right here, the one I use now at Philly Road. She could actually put her another one in right here.
So will that be deeded to her, or will that be an easement?
It'd be an easement for her from the neighbors.
Okay?
Thank you.
Any questions? I think we have a question here.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask a question. Is it, instead of rezoning, and your daughter just wants a place to live on your property?
Yes, but she has to have 4 acres to build a house now.
No, could she not do accessory?
I think due to financing purposes, it had to be on its own tract of land.
Because the other way, I have to be the owner of the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she could be.
I mean, she's gonna eventually get it all anyway, so.
That's why I said it's easier than.
He could rezone the AR, and it would be.
It would be the same.
You only need 4 acres in AR.
Oh, it doesn't have to be double?
No, that's the only one that does.
Okay,
Yes.
gotcha.
But we had discussed about doing just an accessory dwelling unit, and she said that her financing needed it to be on track.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any questions?
I have a question before you sit down. You had mentioned the driveway that you use to access your home, that long, slender piece.
This is our driveway right here.
Okay. Which is part of the bigger parcel to the south, or to the bottom of the.
Now, that I'm not sure. I thought on the original deed we had, when we bought the place maybe 20 years ago, that this driveway was actually in our acreage, but evidently it's not, so.
Does someone live on that parcel, that bigger parcel down there?
Yes, but their driveway is actually here. Their deeded driveway.
Well, I guess where I was going with that is.
Now, we all kind of share the same driveway.
You share a driveway.
Yes. But, now, I know that's not y'all's thing now for 2 people to use one driveway. But with my consent, my neighbor uses my driveway as much as he wants to use it. Instead of going back over somewhere else on his other land, using to where his driveway should have been put originally. So with this, I'm not clear about that.
This would have been the third.
And
This would be the third home.
I'm just here for my daughter.
Right.
That's it. So, thank you.
Any other questions? No.
That's why she's gonna have to get an easement through the
From the
other
other
property, because it would have been 3 on that.
It should be the only one that is.
She'll be the only.
Yes. Okay.
All right, we'll open the public hearing. If anyone wants to speak in favor of this rezone request. Hearing none, so anyone wants to speak in opposition to this particular rezone request? Hearing none, we will close the public hearing, bring it back, and I will entertain a motion. I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
A motion and a second to approve this particular rezone request. Any comments or questions?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
No.
Yes. You said no?
It's 5 votes, so there's no action, so you need another motion.
Okay. We have a tie. So is there another motion? Mr. Turner, I'm going on you. What do we do now?
Oh, is nobody gonna make a motion? Well, if I remember correctly, it says if you take no action, it's deemed to be a recommendation of approval. Of course, that's not binding on the Board of Commissioners.
That's the way we will present it to the Board of Commissioners. So, your recommendation is where we will present it.
Not what I recommend,
And then
that's what you do.
And they will have the final say. So this will, be brought up before the Board of Commissioners on July 1. So please be present. All right. Any further business to come before the P&Z tonight? Not, I'm gonna motion to adjourn.
We're not.
That will be, July 6th. I had to get in the advertising requirement.
Oh, okay.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
All right. Meeting is adjourned.
Did you, second that, please? I gotta share this with you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I wanted to know what y'all, I guess I would like, Mr. Griffith, what was y'all's recommendation, what I should have done, because I had a residential